Hi. Well, we've had lots of fun in Jalia's diary. That is what I hope. And I thought it's been quite a while without going back to our writing treasure trove. You remember very well we talked about the terminologies in the writing treasure trove, and one of them was the spark. We said this had several manifestations in descriptive writing. And today we want to see how the same word spark can manifest itself in developing a captivating, mind blowing title. Many of us take ages thinking about possible titles for our descriptive pieces, and I thought we could take a journey. Well, how important is a title? To me, I see a title as that first thing that pulls someone to what you've written. So the better your title, the most likely people will want to see what is the rein you're writing. An ugly title will discourage readers. So we want our title to be as mind-blowing as possible. How can we get that sparking title? I told you the spark serves several purposes. It can help you, the writer, by giving you those spontaneous thoughts that aid your writing. But in the same way, we shall see how the same spark aids your reader in several ways, including keeping them glued to your writing like they were meant to stay, to keep reading only that. So, how best can we get a title? Number one, we can think about a name of a character or names. Yes, some people always trouble their minds, but sometimes even a name can just serve a purpose, because a title is not supposed to be giving out so much. Okay, you shouldn't tell your reader what they'll read about even before you start. Would you imagine someone who tells you, who is going to narrate a dream and starts like, it was 3 a.m. I went to sleep, and around 3:30 I started dreaming. Would you want to read that? So using a name will leave your reader wondering what it is that will follow that name. What about the name? Why the name? However, make sure that you choose names of major characters. Don't go choosing these minor characters and calling them using them as your title. Right? Number two, how can we get a captivating title? Sometimes we can use a good proverb. We can use a saying. We can use a lesson of sorts. However, this should somehow relate conclusively to your plot in what you're going to write. Don't go just picking an aspect that is not even very relevant and then picking a lesson from there to serve as your title. So make sure your title is from the summary of your overall description. However, don't make it exceed at most 5 words. Examples could be, I always tell my learners that the best examples to use are movies. Movies don't have very long titles. Someone uses a title like Fools Rushing. Another uses, that was Martin Lawrence, another uses A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. We've seen Nigerian movies like suicide mission. So you don't have to spend sleepless nights contemplating over which title to use. As simple as that. Pick a lesson, pick a saying, a proverb, a stitch in time saves nine. However, make sure that proverb is familiar. You should understand the underlying meaning, because proverbs don't mean the surface. There is a connotation attached to every proverb. I guess you understand that. Number 3 is easier to people who have done some literature. Doesn't matter if it's in a local language, because literature is literature. So here we use imagery. What is imagery? Imagery is using vivid description in a way that appeals to the senses of your reader, with an end result of creating an everlasting or a lasting image in their minds, and such things can never be forgotten. So what imagery can we use as a title? We can use literary devices. For example, someone can choose to use a simile. For example, she's as beautiful as a flower. That would sound a bit so down. Another can choose to use a metaphor. What is a metaphor? A metaphor is a direct comparison, where someone compares two completely different things to create a kind of picture that a reader can relate to. You understand? So make sure, if you're using a metaphor, you pick that one thing that will spark the reader's mind. For example, if I came out, my learners one time gave me a title, The Desert Flower. And I'm telling you, I fell in love right away with it. I don't know where they picked it from. Could have been picked from a movie or something, but I loved the imagery in it. Imagine a desert flower. We all know deserts. So if someone uses the desert flower as their title, that person will get you connected to that piece of writing. You will want to read and find out how this flower could find a place in the desert. And if ever someone got this flower, that someone would feel indeed chosen. So calling, you're using it as a title creates some spark in the reader. They want to find out. Lots of questions are coming. A desert, a flower. So that is metaphorical. There are times, because literary devices vary, I might not tell you every other. Someone can choose to use an allusion. An allusion. For example, if someone calls someone, or rather, two lovebirds, Romeo and Juliet, as their title. Someone says Romeo and Juliet. That is an allusion to a literary piece. That is Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. So someone already connects and wants to find out. Romeo and Juliet ended up in a tragedy. Now, how come we are finding a composition entitled Romeo and Juliet? Someone chooses a biblical allusion. For example, uses Judas Iscariot as their title. Someone will wonder, what is it about Judas Iscariot that can be found in this descriptive composition? In so doing, you are touching every other sense of this person. Someone is seeing, someone is imagining lots of things. And it is that impact that creates the so needed suspense, tension, that always keeps us glued on any piece of writing. And what better thing could a writer want if not that? So don't stress yourself. There could be other ways of getting titles, but could we start with those? For further reference, please look up other literary devices, because each of them, I repeat, can serve a purpose of a title. The more of them you understand, the easier it is going to be for you to pick a captivating title that everyone will want to read about. Well, that is that for today. I wish you will all try to pick a title such that as we proceed to the next episodes of the Writing Treasure Trove, we shall move together. Please follow me. Remember to subscribe to this my channel so we can keep together. Love you. Keep glued. Mwah.